She is a wife, a mom of 6 kids, looks this fabulous. Just judged Miss Montana Teen, Miss Montana USA, Miss Idaho Teen. Has her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She does photography, makeup, hair, and the list just goes on. And she's like a dear friend of mine.
I'm so excited just to pop in here with KK, Christina.
I am only here, you guys, because of her. She has believed and supported so many of us, and me. She just literally saw something within me that I feel like nobody saw. And I'm here today because of you.
You know, I've told this story to Christina several times. I found her on social media, not because I was on social media, because my daughter, she was on a schedule with her title as Miss Washington Teen USA. And so I would check her social media and scroll, and I found Christina, and I was just so impressed with her leadership skills. And you know, she had her Monday mornings with KK. And believe it or not, I know that you don't take a lot of credit for the beginning stages of your confidence building and your impact and influence to young women. But I saw something so incredibly inspiring. And I'm like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? And I want to know more about her. And I think I reached out to you first, right?
Yes. I remember there was a little correspondence where I was like, happy birthday.
Yes.
And the first time I saw her, I like rolled up to my first pageant and I was like, who is that woman? I was just blown away.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and so I had to like tell her something pageant weekend, and I know Lily.
Okay, but if you know anything about this girl, and all of you, I'm sure you've seen her videos, her energy is like off the charts. So when I first met her and she came at me with just this big glowing smile and just such honesty, you know, I just loved her personality from when I first met you. And you have that knack with people. So it was easy for me to, number one, develop a friendship with you, but also support your dreams.
Thank you.
I think, especially as a mother, you know, I want to be able to encourage my daughters. And I feel the same way when I'm with you. Like, I want to encourage you to just go after your dreams and pursue your passions. And I'm so blessed that I have these talents, these God-given talents that I'm able to support you with.
A lot
and I have to say, you guys, like, COVID taught me a lot of stuff, okay, about like resiliency, but it also allowed me to just really pursue my passion of artistry and work on this gorgeous space. And if you take a look at my portfolio, a lot of the stuff that I have, well, first of all, I started with KK. And
I was your first model.
My very first model. And, you know, I was still learning a lot of things about business and my lighting and my equipment and the settings, and she sat there patiently and she can work the camera. So this is an interesting spot for me because I have the spotlight on me.
It's all about you today.
No, you're such a natural. Thank you. A natural at being in front of the camera. So this is an awesome experience that I get to sit here and be interviewed by the KK.
Stop. No, you guys, I like love Jennifer so much. I hope I don't like cry, but literally a friend. She's like a motherly heart, and everybody that knows her, they literally leave your presence being better. She's always so encouraging, and she finds a way to see that hidden gem in every single person. And I think pageantry, it's evolving in a beautiful way in the Pacific Pageants Northwest because of you. You are transforming every single person. So today I am so excited because she is Mrs. Korea World and you're competing in Las Vegas.
Yes, January 2022.
Before we know it, it's going to be
at
January.
The Westgate Resort Casino.
How do you feel?
I am thrilled about this. You know, you get one chance at life, and for me, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. I take every day, you know, I don't take it for granted. I take every day with just like gratitude. And for me, this is a moment that I can focus on myself and put myself first because I'm so used to just putting my family, the kids, juggling everything. But this is this one moment in my life where I get to put myself first and it feels really good.
Yes.
And along the way and on this whole journey, I am learning so much more about who I am, like my authentic me. And I'm at an age now, I'm a lot older than you.
But you look young and hot.
But I'm at an age right now where, you know, I don't believe in those lies. Do you know what lies I'm talking about? The lie that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
That you're not qualified.
Yes.
that, you don't belong here. Those are lies. And I think it's so easy to hear those lies, especially if you're creative or especially if you own a business. You hear those lies all the time. But you know what? I have to tell you that God appointed you. He gave you mighty purpose.
Yes.
Mighty purpose.
Yes.
To be here. He selected you. He gave you those gifts and talents. Anybody can learn skill sets, okay?
Yeah.
But those gifts and talents were given from the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So,
do you
yes.
see why I love her? Just, I'm not even going to talk anymore. You just take over. Seriously, I'm so excited to see you be on that Mrs. World page. You're going to shine God's light so bright. I just know it. You already do. Your social media is I read every word, and I read it several times. Every single post. It speaks so dearly to my heart and my spirit.
Thank you. I really believe that each girl, each young woman is naturally gifted with a skill of leadership. You don't have to be a leader and have a title. There are people with titles that can't influence themselves out of a paper bag. Okay?
True.
But if you are a girl or a woman who want to empower others and serve others, you can use your influence to make a change in their life. And it doesn't have to be big. And I'll give you a perfect example.
Give it to us.
Everybody can be a trailblazer. It doesn't have to be something ginormous like, owning a corporation or buying that big house, or even living life with set rules, go to college, get married, have kids. No, life is not linear. Life is like spaghetti noodles, right? It's like a big bowl of spaghetti noodles. But once you find your purpose, once you can focus on your purpose and believe in your purpose, you can then set your goals and achieve great, great things.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example about my family lineage. My mother was a trailblazer in her own way, in her own time.
Wow.
My mother only received a third grade education. At 16 years old, she was supposed to get married to a village boy. Instead, she decided to run away.
Wow.
And she worked for a family and just received boarding. There's no pay. But that was her survival skill. My mother met my father in Korea, and she decided to come to America as an immigrant. My parents are both immigrants. And she survived in this country without speaking any English. And I have no idea, she can't read, and I have no idea how we made it, but we made it. But wow, my mother was a believer, and that's what she taught me. She taught me the love of the Lord. And I know it's because of him that he carried us through. But she's a trailblazer to me and a leader to me because she taught me about being resilient.
Yes.
And I have this great fire inside of me because of her influence. And I know you have a very similar story.
Yes, that's why I think we even connected.
I think so. I think so.
We've done a few trips and travels together, and I think my favorite moments are the ones that Instagram never sees.
Right.
It's like when we sit in the airport and we're eating dinner and we're talking and crying. Those have shaped me forever, for a lifetime. And don't get me wrong, I love all the glamorous moments.
Gosh, I wish we could have a camera or set crew that would just follow us around, because the conversations
in the future
are always so good and so deep.
Yes.
And I love your leadership, especially with my children.
Stop.
Yes. You pour into my children, especially with Lily when we took our trip to Arizona. And I watched her curiosity just kind of spark and she was asking more questions, and that was important. I felt like you were meant to be there at that moment. And I'm so thankful for that.
Oh, okay. I'm going to cry.
For that.
We're family.
I know.
We're family.
I know.
You're stuck with me, and I'm stuck with you.
Yeah, so this is on the record when you get married. I keep talking about this marriage.
Where is he?
He has to go through a lot of people, okay? Like a panel.
It's going to be like pageantry, but for the males.
Right. But this wedding is going to be epic. But most importantly, I would love to see you shine in every way possible.
Oh my gosh.
Every way possible.
You are so kind. Okay, so tell me, what's the number one advice you would give to any woman watching, whether she's in the pageant world or not, whether she's a wife, a 14-year-old teenager who is still insecure about her pimples, and You know, whether it's a 75-year-old woman who's in a
Yes.
senior home, like what's that one thing that every woman could connect with that you
Right.
want to leave with them with
Right.
today?
Something that resonates deep with me is your self-worth.
Mm.
You have to love yourself. You have
Yes.
to love yourself so much more than all the other things that you think are important. You have to come first.
Yes.
And I think once you have found your self-worth, you can walk into any room, you can chase any dream,
Mm-hmm.
you can be as beautiful as the most beautiful person in the whole world, because once you find that self-worth, I think that is the key.
Yes.
That's the key.
Oh, I love it. I
It's
love
the
it.
key.
It is. It unlocks everything.
Absolutely.
Because you'll never settle for less. Not
Right.
in career, not in relationships,
Right.
not in your goals, not in your
Exactly.
dreams.
Exactly.
But also you'll never go the wrong path either.
That's true.
Because you're like, nope, this is not up my alley. I don't need that.
Right. Absolutely right.
So how has the prep for Mrs. World been for you?
I love to shop, you guys. But it's been really great. I have been working with some really amazing people, and you know, if whatever happens, okay, the best part about this journey is that I'm taking home some amazing relationships, and the connection that I'm building with people that are behind me and are supporting me it's priceless.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to wear fancy clothes and to
Yes.
get dressed up,
Yes.
but it's those moments in between that I know I will cherish forever.
Yeah.
And I'm preparing myself for the greatest leadership responsibility. I have carefully thought it through.
You have.
The support, the amount of time it will take away from my family, the costs, behind the crown. But I take it to heart. It's not a ceremonial crown, it's a service crown, and I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
You do.
I do.
When did you step into pageantry?
I always loved watching Miss America as a young girl, but we grew up very poor, and my family, they just could not even afford something extravagant like that. I mean, every school year I would get one pair of shoes,
Wow.
maybe 2 pairs of jeans and a t-shirt.
Wow.
And it was just because my parents were surviving.
Yeah.
You know, they had 3 children and just barely making ends meet. So when I became an adult, I found Mrs. America and actually saw Mrs. World on TV. I think this is so prophetic because the very first married pageant I saw was Mrs. World on national TV. And I thought, I want to do this. And so I had reached out to them and they said, oh, you need to contact your state director. You actually have to win Mrs. America before you can compete as Mrs. World. And so that's how I got introduced to the pageant. It took me 4 tries to win Washington State.
Wow.
And looking back, I really appreciated that opportunity to grow because there was a lot of growth that I needed to do internally. There was a lot of work that I needed to do. And when I went to Mrs. America, I was able to perform really well, and it was second runner-up.
Ooh.
It was a fantastic show. It was all
Not
over
surprised.
national TV.
Wow.
And it kept replaying, and it was just such a wonderful experience. And for the longest time, I've had this want to get back on the stage, but I only wanted to go to Mrs. World. And it just so happened a few years ago, they changed the rules and the requirements. And so now I qualify because of my heritage.
Yes.
My mother's Korean, my dad's Japanese, Polynesian.
Yeah.
I can compete representing Mrs. Korea. And it is so humbling and such an honor because my mother is going to be a part of this.
Oh.
And
you get to bring her on the journey.
Yes.
I love
And
that.
to wear the sash that says Mrs. Korea is just it's amazing, especially knowing where she came from and what she had to deal with. So it
She's
gives
gonna
me pride
be
to represent the country.
Yeah, she's gonna be on that stage with you.
Yes, she's going.
Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so excited. And so how has it been juggling? And I'm sure a lot of maybe wives and moms out there, like how has it been juggling home duties, family duties, business duties? You do so much behind the scenes. You're so available for people that reach out to you. And now with the pageant prep, like what's that key to be able to be successful in multitasking?
Yes. Well, as a married woman, I always put my family first. They're my foremost, most important priority. That is number one. I'm able to juggle things because number one, as women, we're multitaskers.
Yes.
We can talk, walk, and read, do everything all at once, right?
Yes.
But for me, it's mostly time management. I put my priorities first, and then I work on my time management. And I think I love what I do.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like work when I'm being creative.
Yes.
It feels like joy. It gives me energy, and I want to encourage all of you to find that one thing that gives you so much energy. And it does. When I'm working behind the camera or with my makeup brushes, it gives me so much joy and energy. I feel like more passionate about life when I'm done, and then I'm excited to pull it up on my computer and start looking at the edits, and it's just so much fun. And then also to see my product in front of me. And the best part about this is I'm receiving repeat business, and I'm changing lives because I'm giving these images to these women, and they're like, they're so excited and they're confident about their imagery, and I feel so blessed and humbled that I'm able to do that.
Yes. So I'm gonna link her artistry page somewhere here below. Y'all need to follow.
Thank you.
I'm not even giving you choice.
Yes.
So what are some of the last thoughts you would just give? Like, what do you see in the next generation of women rising up? In every generation, it evolves, it changes, it's a bit different. What do you see being the fundamental piece that is going to allow women's voice to be heard?
I think it's very, very important that we have people like you who are influencing young women to become leaders. We need more women to stand up in a leadership position, and sometimes it just takes an encouraging word or a nudge or just support. When I became a school board director, it wasn't because I chose to get involved in politics.
Yeah.
I had a lady who was already in politics ask me, what did I think about, or what were my thoughts about running for this position?
Wow.
And I thought, gosh, am I qualified for this? Yes. Can I do this? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if not me, then who?
Yes.
Who is going to step into this role?
I love that.
And so it was because of her influence that really empowered me to go give my time into a political position, And so I think it's really important for us women, especially, of our age, right? To really influence the younger generation to step up, to believe in themselves. Yes.
Oh, I love that. Everybody, give her a follow. Check out Mrs. Career World. I think that potentially Mrs. World may be sitting next to me right now. And she is now crowned.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
KK.
For your love, for your wisdom.
Am I really on your show?
Stop. It's not that big yet.
This has been absolutely a joy, and I really do appreciate you.
I love you.
And I love everything that you do.
It's because of you.
I always support you.
That's why I'm here. Oh, I love you so much. You all stay tuned. Drop some questions below, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Adios.